Hi, I'm Tamar from the marketing unit at Match B2B. Match B2B helps Israeli companies grow internationally by building smart, lean, and practical B2B marketing and sales engines, even without large teams or budgets. In this series, I'll take you through the exact steps that small and medium-sized B2B companies, especially Israeli companies working internationally, need in order to build an effective, modern marketing and sales engine. My focus is on the customer journey in the B2B world, not just the theory, but how people actually discover, trust, and buy from you, step by step. Let's start with the first episode. Welcome to the first episode of Match Me to Be Business. In this series, we will walk you step by step through a complete system for growing a B2B business organically. This is designed for founders, CEOs, and anyone in a leadership role inside a small or medium-sized Israeli company, especially if you work internationally, especially if you do not have a marketing manager, and especially if you are tired of waiting for magical leads to appear. Let's start with something simple. You do not need a full marketing department to grow your business. You do not need to spend thousands on ads. What you do need is a process, a consistent, clear, and strategic process for being visible, valuable, and trusted by the right people. Today's episode is not about tactics, it's about mindset. You cannot succeed in B2B today by thinking like it's 2012. Marketing has changed, sales has changed, buyers have changed. So let's rewire how we think about B2B growth. Let's start with this question. How do buyers really buy? I am not talking about how you want them to buy. I am talking about what really happens. A B2B buyer does not go straight to a demo. They Google. They ask friends. They scroll LinkedIn. They consume 3 to 5 pieces of content before they even click your website. Most of the buying journey is invisible. It happens before you see it. And this is what we call dark social. It's not tracked, but it is very real. And this is where your presence must live. Now, let's look at the traditional funnel. You might know it. Awareness, interest, decision, action. But that funnel is broken. Today, the journey looks more like this. Awareness, consideration, validation, trust. Then, decision. Buyers loop between those stages. They ask other customers. They read posts from your team. They look at your content. Not just your website, but what your CEO says, what your partners say, what your clients say. So here is the new rule. In order to grow, you need to show up in all 5 stages. With content, with proof, with relationships. And you need to build this using the people you already have. We call this the 10 fingers method. You grow using what's already inside your organization. Your knowledge, your voice, your stories, and your network. Let me give you a real example. In the early days of Cloudin, a cloud cost management company, they did not have a big marketing budget. They did not even have a real marketing team. What they had was expertise. So the founders wrote blog posts. They gave webinars. They built relationships with AWS communities. And most importantly, they positioned themselves as the experts long before AWS acquired them. This is what organic B2B growth looks like. Now, let's talk about your company. If you are an Israeli B2B company working internationally, this is even more important because your buyers do not know you. You are not in San Francisco. You are not in their local network, so you need to build credibility from day one, and this can only happen with a consistent and strategic presence. In this series, we are going to show you how to build that presence, not with fluff, not with trends, but with a system that includes positioning, content, LinkedIn, proof, partnerships, and growth rituals. You will not need to hire 5 people. You will need to use your hands, your team, and your voice. Here is what you need to believe before we move forward. First, marketing is not separate from the business. It is the business. It is how people understand who you are. It is how trust is created. Second, content is not decoration. It is the fuel for your pipeline. Third, you do not need to be perfect. You need to be consistent. And finally, growth is a team sport. Even in a small company, 3 people can run a powerful system. 1 creates, 1 connects, 1 closes. Let me leave you with this image in your mind. Think of your B2B growth like a flywheel. At first, it's slow. You post content, you tell stories, you build relationships. Then you get a few leads. Then more people see you. Then you get invited to speak. Then you close deals. And the wheel starts to spin faster. You don't need to run faster. You need to keep the wheel turning. In the next episode, we will go deep into positioning. We will help you define who you serve, what problem you solve, and how to explain your value so that it lands with global buyers. But for now, I want you to do one thing. Ask yourself, are we showing up where our buyers spend time? Do they understand what we stand for? Would they trust us even before we speak to them? If the answer is no, then this series is for you. If you'd like to ask questions, share your thoughts, or get help applying what we talked about, you're welcome to reach out. You can schedule a one-on-one meeting using the link below or send us an email. Both the link and the email are right here under the video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next lesson.